This cryptocurrency bull market has the potential to change lives forever. There's just one small problem, and that's the fact that a lot of people who are currently invested in crypto have no idea what they're in for. Now, as a veteran of the 2017 bull market, I can tell you that I've earned my fair share of Purple Hearts. Had I been better prepared, well, maybe I'd be filming this video on the beaches of my private island in the Caribbean, instead of a dark and rainy London in the middle of a full lockdown. On the bright side, I have learned my lessons, and this time around, I'm not going to let those crypto gains pass me by. So today, I'm going to share this wisdom with you, so that you know exactly what to expect from this bull market and how to make the most of it. Before we go parabolic, I need to give you the bottom line. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video should be considered financial or investment advice. Like you, I am a student of crypto, though some consider me to be a master. Now, if you're new here, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Guy, and my modus operandi is to search far and wide for the type of crypto content that gets you high. Metaphorically speaking, of course. Cryptocurrencies, DeFi protocols, exchanges, NFTs, nothing crypto-related is off limits at the Coin Bureau. If your life is defined by limitless crypto, take a second to subscribe to the channel and take a second to ping that notification bell. If you're pressed for time, then you can take a third second to look through the timestamps I've left below. Feel free to use those to jump around to the topics you can't wait to hear about. And with all that out of the way, it's time to tango. If you've been invested in crypto for more than a month, you're probably feeling pretty good about now. Bitcoin is up over 50%, Ethereum has doubled in price, and just about every other altcoin has seen comparable gains. You've also probably experienced a couple of small corrections, but you've realized that these are okay because crypto is volatile. A little 10% drop never hurt anyone. But what if I told you that things are going to get way more volatile than you could ever have possibly imagined? When this bull market starts to peak, the triple-digit gains that took you months to get will start to happen on a daily or even hourly basis, and the shakeouts will be just as spicy. This is what happened in 2017, and I can almost guarantee that it's going to happen again in 2021 or 2022. This is because there will most likely be a shortage of cryptocurrency on exchanges. When there isn't enough ETH to go around on an exchange, the small supply compared to the large demand causes an unbelievable amount of price volatility, usually to the upside. This volatility will also likely be exacerbated by OTC traders. For those who don't know, OTC, or over-the-counter, is how most big investors buy their crypto. This is to make sure that they don't disrupt the market or drive up the prices on cryptocurrency exchanges. However, if OTC reserves dry up, using an exchange will be the only viable alternative, and that's going to work wonders for the price of whatever crypto they're buying until the whales and weak hands start to sell. And then the price will crash just as hard. You need to be mentally prepared for this insane price volatility, and you can use my video on how to reduce your crypto-related stress to help you keep your cool when the heat is on. That's in the top right. Another thing you need to be prepared for is the unbelievable amount of FUD and FOMO that you're going to see from personalities and news outlets inside and outside of the crypto space. You might think we're already there, but trust me when I say that we are just getting started. The Google search trends for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are still nowhere near their all-time highs. When general interest around cryptocurrencies really starts to pick up, you can bet that every attention-hungry YouTuber, media outlet, and unskilled academic is going to be milking the hell out of crypto to try and get their 5 seconds of fame. The worst part is that every so often something will come out that you really do need to be aware of. This means you have to be able to read through these clickbaity headlines in an objective manner. The more you know about crypto, the easier it will be to do that. For example, if you see a passionate opinion piece by some Ivy League professor with a triple PhD in sexual socialism that claims Bitcoin is a capitalist scam, you're probably fine. However, If you see an update from the SEC saying that one of the cryptos you're holding is a security and they're taking legal action against the company issuing it, I reckon you should bail out of that position immediately, no questions asked. Here's a pro tip. Enable notifications from the SEC and other US regulators on Twitter so you're the first to know. In short, you need to be able to separate fact from fiction and be willing and able to change your exit strategy if the facts suggest this is the right course of action. If you currently do not have an exit strategy, I suggest you get on that ASAP, and you can use my video about how to plan your ultimate altcoin exit strategy to help you out. Oh yes, top right. Once you've hammered out your exit strategies, you should take some time to familiarize yourself with technical analysis and a few technical indicators. This is because the crypto market is going to be driven by pure emotion when the real gains and losses come rolling in. Now, it just so happens that technical analysis is the ancient art of spotting emotional patterns in price action. These patterns have repeated themselves across every speculative market for hundreds of years. Investor psychology is why cryptocurrency has a 4-year cycle. It is why Bitcoin tends to bounce when it drops down to around 1,000, like 33K or 34K. And it's why altcoins rally every time Bitcoin trades sideways for too long. Being well-versed in technical analysis will help you make better decisions on the fly when the day comes to sell your cryptos. And yes, I've got a couple of videos that will teach you everything you need to know about TA. And yep, you know where to get that good stuff. In a perfect world, being mentally and technically prepared is all you would need to master the bull market. Unfortunately, you're not the only part of this equation. Most of us do our trading using centralized cryptocurrency exchanges, and we all know what happens to those when market volatility strikes. It boggles my mind that the largest exchanges in the world continue to see outages when the markets get hot. Now, some would say it's on purpose, and I think that's a very real possibility. To make things worse, when network traffic is high, it can take a really long time to move funds around, especially if you're dealing with a cryptocurrency that can face bloat. Now, all blockchains are susceptible, but Bitcoin and Ethereum are usually prime examples here. You need to anticipate these exchange outages and transfer times well in advance, or else you'll find yourself screaming at your phone or computer for hours on end while the market drops before your eyes. It hurts, trust me. Now, as far as solutions go, you have a few options. The first is to consider signing up for a different cryptocurrency exchange that supports the cryptos you plan on selling. Just be sure to check that the exchange is legit and that you won't be shafted by withdrawal fees or deposit and withdrawal minimums. Using a DEX like Uniswap is also a good option if you're trading Ethereum assets, and it might be worth the extra gas fees if it means being able to sell your tokens in minutes instead of hours. Your second option is to transfer the crypto you plan to sell to an exchange in the days or weeks before you plan on selling it. Just remember that keeping large amounts of cryptocurrency on an exchange is extremely risky. And even if they have insurance, it might be years before you see those funds if anything goes wrong. Finally, make sure all your cryptocurrency wallets are up to date. This includes keeping firmware up to date on hardware wallets like Trezor. If you haven't plugged yours in for a while, well, consider checking that sooner rather than later. The last thing you need at the peak of a bull market is a technical issue on your end that could have been easily avoided. The real nightmare scenario in a bull market, however, is not being able to cash out. As you might have noticed, going from fiat to crypto is much easier than the reverse. If you haven't already tried cashing out of crypto, I strongly recommend you find a safe and reliable method that works for you. My recommendation is to use a well-regulated cryptocurrency exchange like Coinbase or Bitstamp to wire the funds directly to your bank account. If you aren't expecting to make a lot of money and also plan on using that money for some of your daily expenses, then you can get yourself a cryptocurrency debit card from a company like Crypto.com and load that card with fiat using crypto in their app. The exchange rates on cryptocurrency debit cards tend to be pretty damn good, and I won't deny that I'm a sucker for those cashback rewards. You can even withdraw physical cash using most crypto debit cards, which is handy when it comes to certain things. Now, whichever option you go with, be sure to test it out well in advance and consider having backup crypto to fiat gateways in case anything goes wrong. If you're not able to cash out for whatever reason, I strongly recommend moving your money into a transparent and well-regulated stablecoin like USDC, and move those funds to your personal wallet until you've found a way to cash out, assuming that's your endgame. Just be aware that Circle, the company which issues USDC, has the power to freeze your account if you engage in any suspicious behavior. You might also want to consider delaying cashing out of crypto for tax purposes. In some countries, like the United States, if you hold your crypto for more than a year, you will pay less tax. In crypto tax havens like Germany, you pay zero tax. And in some cases, you can reduce your tax bill by realizing some of those gains in one tax year and waiting until the next tax year to cash out the rest. In many cases, you can reduce your crypto tax bill by writing off any crypto purchases as a business expense. It might even be possible to dodge any sort of taxation at all by taking advantage of loopholes around gift-giving laws. If these are the sort of crypto tax tips you need, all I have to say is, top right. Even when you do decide to cash out of crypto, you should think really hard about what you do with that money. Now, I know there's no shortage of Lambo jokes in crypto, but the real joke would be to actually spend your money on one. That's because a car is a depreciating asset, and the moment you drive that Aventador off the lot, it loses up to 20% of its value. Bad investments like these are the reason why most lottery winners end up broke. They fall back into the same middle-class mindset that prevented them from being rich in the first place. If you manage to make it to the moon with your crypto investments, it's absolutely imperative that you do not spend your way back down to earth. Instead, ask yourself how you could use that money to make more money. Real estate seems to be a popular option these days, and by that, I mean renting out a property with a high profit margin. Just remember that if your money isn't working for you, you're going to be working for money for the rest of your life. Mic drop. Now, on that note, don't beat yourself up if you miss the top of this bull market or sell too early. Selling the top is a superhuman feat, and there's a reason why buying the dip is likened to catching a falling knife. Instead of asking yourself, what if, take a second to compare your gains to those of your no-coiner friends invested in the stock market, or worse, government bonds. The average annual return on the stock market is 10%. Now, I've made more than that in half an hour trading a food-themed DeFi token, and I bet you've had similar experiences in the crypto market. When all is said and done, you'd better not be off in a corner crying about how your 20x return could have been a 22x. That sort of mindset could result in you making a really bad decision, like FOMOing back into the market when you see that the cryptos you sold are still going up. To be fair, there are some cases where you should consider jumping back in, and if you do your technical analysis homework, you'll know when you've encountered one of these golden opportunities. Whatever you do, do not under any circumstances put yourself in debt. Only spend the money you have. That said, you can take advantage of decentralized borrowing and lending protocols like Aave to give yourself some extra leverage if you still have Ethereum-based crypto assets in circulation that you could use as collateral. This would make it possible to withdraw a stablecoin like USDC and buy that one altcoin that just keeps going up. While this is also a risky thing to do, at least you won't be in debt if things go tits up. There is a lot more to Aave, and I can't cover it here. Perhaps it's a topic for another video which already exists because it's in the top right of the screen. When you've finally made your millions, you have to resist the urge to flex on the haters. I know that being humble is a hard thing to do in circumstances such as these, but the last thing you want is to draw unwanted attention to yourself. It will change the way you're treated by your friends and family, and could put you at risk of getting shanked by a shady stranger. When it comes to the art of being discreetly rich, my personal role model is Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, who could quite frankly be easily mistaken for a homeless person. If life has taught me anything, it's that money comes and goes, and you don't get to take it with you when the lights go out. If you really fumble the ball and make nothing during this bull market, so long as you're not in debt, you'll still be a winner. Why? Because you'd have gained the sort of wisdom you need to be successful when the next bull market comes around. Maybe you even learned a thing or two about crypto and made a couple of friends along the way. However, if everything fell apart because you lost access to your wallet and forgot the wallet seed, that's on you. Don't be that guy. I won't lie to you, this video brought back some painful memories from the previous crypto bull run. Luckily for you, I've made all of these mistakes so that you don't have to. If you've already made some impressive gains during this bull run, here's a virtual high five just for you. I just hope that you're ready for what's coming, because it's about to get really hard to keep that crypto stress in check. It's a whole different ballgame when your portfolio is fluctuating by tens of thousands of dollars per hour. ETH reserves on exchanges are already running out, and I bet other cryptocurrencies will soon follow suit. I also can't wait for all the experts who are going to come in and lecture us all about the pros and cons of cryptocurrency. Unless that criticism is coming from the mouth of someone with the power to affect the market, I'll be keeping my ears firmly plugged to all FUD and FOMO. I also can't help but notice that the views on my videos about technical analysis have seen an uptick in recent weeks. I can't tell you how happy I am to see that. If you're going to capitalize on an emotional market, you need to be familiar with TA. And remember that there's no such thing as too much practice. Just a few minutes of charting per day could mean the difference between a 10x and a 30x return. Time is going to be of the essence when the crypto market really starts to fly. I remember losing thousands of dollars while I waited for my Bitcoin to get confirmed on the network during the crazy times of late 2017. You should also try and get your crypto as close to where you want it to go when you think the day to sell is just around the corner. Speaking of selling, you have to be absolutely certain that you have more than one way out of the crypto market. That's one of my biggest regrets from the previous bull market, although back then there were not nearly as many options as there are today. It really shouldn't be hard to find a reliable crypto to fiat gateway, and the sooner you get started on that, the better. And look, I'm not a fan of taxes any more than the next guy, but I would much rather fork over a few grand than a few years of my life. If that turns my 20x gain into a 19x gain, so be it. Thankfully, there are many ways you can legally reduce your crypto tax, and I seriously recommend watching my video about that if you really want to stick it to the taxman. I'm not even going to tell you about all the useless stuff I bought with my crypto gains in 2017. But that said, I actually hodled most of my portfolio throughout that year, and looking back, I really have no regrets. To me, one of the best investments you can make is cryptocurrency. I really do think it's the future, and that's worth more than any Lambo. As such, I'll likely hodl a substantial amount of my portfolio through this bull market as well. What I do know is that I'm going to do my best to stay humble. After all, money isn't everything, and if it weren't for my friends, family, and my dear viewers, it would all be worthless. If you enjoyed this video, give it a boost in the YouTube algorithm by clicking that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ping that notification bell so you know when it's time for some more crypto wisdom. If you consider yourself to be a Coin Bureau superfan, who wouldn't? You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I share spicy memes and rare behind-the-scenes footage. If you're looking for something to help you in your day-to-day crypto grind, well, I recommend joining my Telegram channel, where I share my daily insights about the crypto market. My weekly newsletter takes my Telegram content to the next level by giving you a detailed breakdown of the most important crypto-related news and other quality crypto content that you won't get anywhere else. And every issue of my newsletter comes with a spam-free guarantee. Oh, and you may have been marveling at this t-shirt right here. Well, it's a great reminder that no matter what is going on in the world, you just have to keep calm and hodl on. So if you want to bag this bad boy, you can find links to my merch store in the description. Now, as you know, I don't run ads on the channel, and all merch sales go to help me bring you the crypto content you love. That's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.